I think that a lot of artists, especially newer artists, sometimes get managers twisted. Like, and what I mean by that is they expect their manager to be their booking agent, their PR agent, their personal manager, their business manager, their record label, their roadie, their financier, their babysitter. I mean, they expect a lot out of artists, and I think that no artist needs a manager unless you have business to manage. Like, we are stern believers in that. And, we get tons of artists that come in here all the time, like, look, man, I'm doing X, Y, Z. Like, I really think it's time for me to get, you guys on my team. I see what you've done with, so-and-so and so-and-so. I want you guys to help me out. It's like, okay, when you ask me certain questions, like, well, where are you getting at? Well, right now, nowhere. Okay, like, how many articles do you have written about you? Well, nah, like, I need help with that. Like, that's why I'm coming to you guys. Okay, well, like, what are your MySpace hits at? Like, how many times do you hit your fans on MySpace a day with, like, a new track or a new message to your fans? I was like, well, that's just the type of stuff I'm trying to get together right now. Okay, all you're telling me is you have no business in my office right now. Like, and it's a sad reality, and like, you see these people's faces when you tell them this, but it's the truth. I think that's what your manager should do. He should be honest with you. He should let you know exactly what the moves that you're making, whether they're, a little bit misguided and how to get you back on the track. And, I think that a lot of times managers, like even us, we've wore all those hats before. Like, I book gigs consistently for my artists, whenever I can get them an article written anywhere or an interview somewhere, like, that's what I do. But, that's not one of the things that should be expected of your manager. That's not one of your manager's job. That is, an extra or a bonus that you have when you've got a successful or good manager on your team. You want to add to
that? I think you pretty much nailed it. I mean, I think the whole point to stress is artists should stop looking for managers, for business managers and artist managers when they don't have business to manage. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. But we've worked with artists at all different levels, like I had said before. I mean, we've worked with artists that probably aren't in a position to have an artist manager. And we've built them up from doing shows for 10 people at Chicago venues to doing that, to moving on and doing national tours and having nationally released products. So it all depends on the artist. I mean, I won't sit here and say we need an artist that has a full budget and a deal and all of these things in place before we'll work with them. I mean, it's all artist specific, I guess. I mean, if something comes through the door that we're all blown back by and all feel very strongly about, I mean, at the end of the day, it won't even matter where they are in their career. We'll want to take it and get behind it and use all of our resources to let everybody else in the world hear it. I think in the entertainment business, the economy isn't bad. I mean, the areas of revenue and the streams of revenue where the money is coming from has changed, but the money itself hasn't changed. And I mean, all of the artists stuck on that idea that the economy is bad, they can't make money as artists. Those same artists wouldn't have made money 15 years ago when the record industry and record sales were booming. I mean, true artists and good artists find a way, like, regardless of the times. So I think, going back to the question, have we had to change our role? Not really. I mean, we just keep focus on the particular streams of revenue that are popular at the moment, such as music licensing right now. That's why we branched off from Bandit and created a whole separate company dealing with sync licensing with music dealers.
And I think that, the one arena in the music industry that's fallen off, and it's the only industry that I can think of, is, record sales. But, touring is such a larger piece of the puzzle now. Like, big budget tours, like, where you're selling out tons of arenas, there's way more artists doing that, like, right now, I feel, at least. And I don't feel like venues are shutting their doors. People are still going to concerts just as regularly. Where they're getting this money from to pay for it, and they're not in the industry, I don't know. but they're still selling out venues, and they're still like, bookers are still booking shows. Clubs are opening up every single day in different cities. So I mean, I think that there are streams of revenue. There's just, it might seem like it's a little worse for artists, but that's because everybody nowadays wants to be an artist. So when you get, like whereas back in the day, like the artists that came out, they were really passionate and they were truly talented artists. So it's like, yes, they were making that piece of the pie. So, it seemed like everybody was making a lot more money. But nowadays, you just got more whack artists, like truth be told. So it's like those whack artists are the ones that are complaining.
I mean, the overall value of music is at an all-time low right now. Music is so fast and disposable now with all of the stuff that's going on the internet. Like, I mean, you can go to any blog and your biggest favorite artist, they'll have new songs dropping every single day. And it's like the value of that music, it's gone down to nothing. People expect all music for free, and you'll have music one day and the next day there'll be something to replace it. Like it never happened like that. Back in the day, like you would go to the record stores every Tuesday. There would be like 1 or 2 albums that you were like dying to have every single week. Now it's like the Tuesday release schedule, it's not even significant in music anymore.
Right.
Like just the value of music, it's so low. I don't really know what it means for artists' careers. I mean, I know it's kept a lot of artists in the studio a lot more. Instead of recording 10-song albums, they're having to record 50 songs for a 10-song release because they're having to leak songs.
But I also think that, fans in general appreciate more things about artists than, what it was when we were coming up. Like, even with, like, I understand with like Tupac, Biggie, and cats like that, like it was kind of a lifestyle thing because the gangster rap thing was kind of coming into play at that point in time. But even cats like Wu, like it was a lifestyle thing. But nowadays, like I mean, not only is it a lifestyle thing, it's a fashion thing. It's a this dude is just hilarious. Like they could be a cheesy artist. I don't want to throw any names out there, but they could be cheesy, but because they're super funny and super energetic on stage, or they do crazy antics during their shows. Like, that's what people appreciate about artists. And I think artists have so many more ways to reach their fans, which a lot of artists don't even take advantage of. And that stuff is free. Like, getting on Facebook, doing your viral video, showing people what you do during your day. Like, most artists, like, they don't really have, that 9 to 5 if you're fairly successful. Like, you're just making music. Like, you have all this free time, like, to just reach your fans and reach out and try to build your brand. So I think that, for as horrible as I guess the economic climate is right now within the music industry, there's way more ways for you to generate money than there were a few years ago.
The playing field has been leveled. Right. I mean, as cliche as it sounds, like that's where we're at in 2010. I mean, I have myself, if I was to release records, I would have as much reach as the next artist. I mean, everybody has an easy way to reach fans. So I think when you start talking about the economy and funneling money into things, I think a lot of the times it's actually an excuse right now.
You just can't be whack. Don't be mad if somebody tells you that you are whack. I mean, because everybody's entitled to their opinion, and like if everybody's telling you you're whack, 9 times out of 10, you're probably whack. So maybe think about bagging groceries or something.